Yo, what's up guys, DEVA here, and I hope everyone's having a nice summer, and if not, this video is gonna change it, cause I have got some nice ass builds for you. So this video contains 6 different builds with 3 different dual blades. I picked up the strongest one, the ones I'm using. The builds are for different purposes, such as highest DPS, tank builds, high DPS and tank, infinite sharpness, arc temperate monster solo builds, and arc temperate monsters for multiplayer to get the maximum survival rate. So let's start with the first one. It's the infinite sharpness and for long fights build. Now here we have a total of 95 affinity and 330 raw attack. Don't forget to put the power charm and the power back in your inventory, because this gives you a huge boost. This is also activated when peak performance is activated, and it has a total of 7 attack boost, 3 critical eye, critical boost, 3 weakness exploit, 3 peak performance, 2 handicraft, power prolonger to stay the dual blades longer strengthened, airborne for jump attack. This is pretty useless on dual blades, but what can we do, it was with armor. Razor sharp for a half sharpness loss, and also the dragon forced bonus, which means every time you get a critical hit you don't lose sharpness. And this is not 100% infinite build, because you have only 95% affinity, but trust me, you will finish off 3 monsters with wide sharpness. This is for long fights and also for highest DPS possible. Now I use this on long fights when I play multiplayer on easy monsters mostly, because you don't have a lot of defense. It's only for high DPS purposes and huge sharpness. So let's move to the second one. This is tank high DPS for solo arc temperate monsters. Now you have again a 95% affinity and the 330 raw attack, so you have pretty much the same DPS, but the difference is you have a bit less sharpness, but still good because of the half weapon sharpness. And now you have a plus 30 health, a 3 times recovery speed, and the 30% damage reduction. So this is pretty tanky build, but also again max DPS you can get. This has 140 damage per second. If you don't know what DPS is, it's damage per second, which means this is the damage you deal every second to the monster as long as you're attacking it continually. So let's move to the third build. This is for arc temperate monsters on multiplayer. This is to maximize your survival rate, but also healing and being a tank. So it got a wide range, which allows you to, when you use a potion, you heal your friends on the full effect of the potion and also at max range. Attack boost is average, 12 attack boost and 5% affinity, plus 50 health, so you're really tanky. X4 recovery speed when you get damage over time, 140% crit damage, 50% affinity on weak spots, plus 20 attack when you're at max health, and also 50% damage reduction this time. So I really recommend to use this on multiplayer. If you're good enough and don't wanna heal or don't need so much defense, go back to the previous build, which has a bit more DPS. This has a total of 65 affinity and 312 raw attack, and a total of 135 DPS. So this is not much of a difference, but it can save some seconds or minutes if you wanna finish off quick monsters. Okay, let's move to the fourth build. Now we're using a different dual blades. We're using the Diablo's clubs. This is a high DPS and huge sharpness build. You have 85% affinity, 404 raw attack. And here we also use a dragon forced bonus. Critical hits causes no sharpness loss. And here comes the trick. I try to get 4 handicraft for plus 40 weapon sharpness, and you will have a tiny bit of white sharpness. but because we have such a huge affinity and the Dragon Forced bonus, this little bit white sharpness will last forever, or for at least long amount of time, and even if you use a affinity booster, it will last a lot longer. Moving on to the next one. This is again a Diablos build, now with peak performance. This has quite more raw attack, same affinity. Now again, Dragon Forced bonus plus 40 weapon sharpness, and this build has quite the same DPS, 165. But only if you get peak performance. So I really recommend to use the first one, except if you can keep your health at full, you will do a bit more damage than the previous one. And now if you don't have expert juvels, or you're missing some juvels out, another good what you could use is protect polish or affinity sliding. Affinity sliding gives you 30 affinity while sliding, and every map has at least one spot where you're fighting the monster where you can slide. So that can replace the whole 7 critical eye level boost. Moving on to the last build. This is now using the Devil Jaw. This was my favorite ones before the Empress Daggers came out. This is also a DPS build, 75% affinity, 374 raw attack, level 6 attack boost for plus 18 attack, so level 6 critical eye, 3 critical boost for 140% more crit damage, and weakness exploit level 3 again, and peak performance, and also plus 10 weapon sharpness. So we get here again a lot of white sharpness, plus we have the Dragon Forced bonus, critical hits, no sharpness loss. This will not last that long, but it increases a lot your sharpness. So you can fight much longer with white sharpness without sharpening. And again, you can put here protect polish if you're missing out a flawless juvel for peak performance, or any other for affinity sliding. This has again 155 DPS, so that's a little bit less from the Diablos blades, but the difference is this one has a dragon element, 180 I think, so it's recommended to use this one on dragons, not on dragons, I mean one monster with weakness on dragon, so you will quite get more damage. Now for augmentation, please use on the Empress Daggers health regeneration, because they have good affinity and good attack. For the Diablos blades and for the Devil Jaw, use 1 health regeneration and affinity to increase your affinity, so you get less sharpness loss. Okay, that were my top 6 builds. The current ones I'm using, mostly use the Empress Daggers. If you wanna see more builds comparison, please let me know in the comment section below. It took me a lot of time to calculate all the numbers and make the build, so please, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, and also subscribe to my channel. If you don't wanna miss any content, please turn on notifications. And yeah, I hope you're having a nice day, and see ya guys.